Wow. Maybe that was an omen. I never had that happen. I clicked the button just now and it went to a blank screen. I never had that happen before. hmm Could be some forebodings. All right. So, hey everybody, it's Patsy, and today's Thanksgiving, um, November 22nd, 2018. So, I don't know that it matters, but today was a day when, here in the United States, we celebrate Thanksgiving. Okay. And so my children, my son and daughter, both are here, which is not a common occurrence, but it has been pretty well. It has gone very well the last few times it's happened. So we think as we're all getting older, we're all growing up, right? And we're all learning our parameters, hopefully. But my daughter has challenges, big challenges. She was diagnosed with borderline personality syndrome when she was a young person, when she was 18. There's always something, and I had no idea what it was. Thank you, everyone. So, Emperor. My daughter's an Aries, and so is my mother. And I'm not. And that's the problem. So what's been the problem? So I found out today that the betrayal of the Aries woman that has been coming up in my readings, my twin flame readings, not mine, ones that I have watched other people do. Maybe mine, I don't know. Wasn't paying attention to it like that because this just hit me like 10 minutes ago. Well, it actually hit me around 12 o'clock this afternoon, but it's just brought me to feel that I needed to process it because I have, and I am, because I'm trying to follow my spirituality, which says to accept something, process it, and then let it go. And so I have been doing that for 3 hours now, working on that, even when it kind of rears itself again, because more information gets hatched. And I try to be not, my children knew I was upset, and they knew that something that they were telling me that had gone on had happened. I didn't know. And they could tell when it was said and the way I reacted that I did not know. So that was good. That was real. I thank God for that, at least. My daughter got to see my reaction and my son both of them. And so they can be assured that I had no idea of any of this until just this moment. My daughter is 38 years old and my son is 24. So I hope you guys can hear me. I just don't want to shout because I know I'm going to get loud. I don't want to start off at high octane. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be spiritual. Walking away from a heartbreak. Three of Wands in the reverse. The King of Wands in the reverse. Aries is a fire sign. So we have the Emperor, the Lovers, the Eight of Cups, Three of Cups, and King of Cups. Narcissism is what they call it. But you don't know, you didn't know that then when you were growing up in it. And a lot of us, a lot of women and men have grown up in households with narcissistic parents. And just like we tend to gravitate towards men who remind us of our fathers, we will gravitate towards partners who remind us of that narcissistic parent. Just depends on, you know, which one of your illnesses contracted for that one. You know, whatever your contract was, that is the one that contracted for that particular event to be part of your story. The way you maneuver through a narcissistic parent, an alcoholic parent, a drug-addicted parent, a gambler parent. Let's see, what else did we go? People, no, not my kid, not us. I'm just saying people around us in our community, things that we heard. Prostitutes as a parent, pimp and prostitute as parents. Oh, yes. Drug addicts, Vietnam survivors, widows of Vietnam. Ned DeWino probably was a vet of World War I, II, Korea, any of the above, Vietnam. At some time might have become a parent beforehand or afterwards. And you wouldn't know that till his children came looking for him or his body. So it takes all kinds of people to make the world, right? Some parents are bad people. Some parents are selfish people. Some parents are confused people. And all hurt people hurt people. So that's the lesson that you learn. As a way to accept it, I think, at least for me, to go on the spiritual path, I did have to come to that conclusion about why people do the things that they do, at least. The rationale behind some of the behavior, you know, like stuff that, like, you know, cheating and you know, becoming strung out on drugs or being an alcoholic or being an abusive spouse or accepting abusive behavior, that kind of stuff. I always had a way to try to understand it, you know, not to explain it away. And as I've been doing the readings here online and working with the oracle cards, I've come to understand that the ability to do that is forgiveness. And that is a gift. And I've always been able to do that, much to the chagrin of my mother, who don't let nothing go at all, especially if she feels that she has been offended. Do not think that you're going to get away with her not expressing. Shame. That you hurt her. Mm. Yes, I say. Yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. 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 Okay. That took 13 minutes and 39 seconds. And as the entire tarot. But these cards just told me a story. Honest to God. From the beginning to end. And it was my story. In this exact order. As I lifted each card, I felt the story continue. And it just said, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. But they're all 78 cards are right now here on your saw from the bottom. So if I want to recreate this, because I didn't even call out the names of the cards because I was so invested. Let me think. I think it was this way. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to put them back the same way they fell. so that I can look at the layer underneath. Because once I do that, if I pull each card, I should get the story, no matter how I lay it out. Because it's not about the layout, it was about the order of the cards. That's what I'm trying to say. Then I came over here. So, see, y'all getting to see the process. But this is new. I never done this before, but I've heard of it being done. But to be on the, there's one thing to watch someone else do it. It's another thing to have it happen to you. To feel the messages, to hear the message come out. You intuitively know what the story is, but the cards are matching your intuition. That was a wild feeling. Wild. W-I-L-D, people. That was amazing. You're reading it to yourself. You're talking to yourself. But you know the story as it's coming through your thoughts already. You already know what that card's going. It's like you're anticipating the card as the card is being revealed. Now right here, we got this was underneath this. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yep. 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 That was there. That was it. Yeah. Yeah. And these meanings may not mean anything to anybody else, but this is what it was saying to me as I was laying it out. That's what you're going to get. Okay, right. That was okay. Okay. Right. Okay. 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 So this is the next card. Stay with me, folks. And stay with me too, Egon. And Lord, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength, my Redeemer, my Creator. Ashe. This is to help somebody out there. This is not an attack on anyone. This is statement of situation and fact that at the end of the day, I survived, and very well, I might add. So, give the credit where the credit is due in that, because ain't nobody bad all day, every day, and end up being so successfully raising 4 children by herself, and everyone doing so very, very, very well. Now, I know I have to say that even if is true. But I would have to say that because you she would cut you off, and that would just hurt her too much to have you say it any other way and not appreciate what it is that she has provided, and she has done a marvelous job. She really did. She really did. I mean, she really did. She was a good mother. But there was a time, there was a moment in time, a long moment in time, that she had kind of lost her way. Right? When a woman loves a man, the things that happen, the things that people allow, not just her, but women of that generation, maybe women of the same generation now. People go extreme like that movie Precious, I think. That was very extreme. God knows I didn't live through anything like that at all. But it's not easy being a young mother with all of the things that could befall your children and having to change the way you view relationships because society's changing around you and your life is changing around you, and having to pay for certain choices that you make and things like that. This is the 70s, the 60s, the hippies, are coming of age. They're having families, finishing college, going on about their way, and they've seen, things go from Father's Knows Best to I Spy and the Mod Squad, and music has changed, and hippie movement, and drugs, and love, and peace, and reproductive freedoms, and things like that. Divorce was more accepted. Still not rampant as it is today, but it was, just starting to become a thing. And, you know, most focus putting on the effects that it had on children, families, not so much as the effect that it had on women, except to say that their economic status would fall. No shit. That's why they didn't leave half the time anyway. You're telling them this propaganda anyway. Part of the patriarchy. Making sure that if you leave your husband, ma'am, no matter how bad he is to you, your level of income, your status is going to fall. Studies show. And for men, it seems that you live longer the longer you stay married because your wives take better care of you. And men tend to benefit more from a divorce, even if there's some financial loss. They do tend to find love sooner. So y'all go to sleep with that, little girls. So that was what they were raised with, and it still was being put out there in subtle ways, but things were changing. So anyway, same way we find men who have traits like our mothers, like our fathers, we find men that have traits like our mothers too. Like I said, this depends on what contract you signed up for. So I'm not an Aries, and my mother is an Aries. And she had a love that she walked away from. She wasn't happy, but he had sisters, and she didn't get along with the sisters, and she didn't like something the sister said to her, so she held it against him as if he had said it and he didn't. Just saying. Now, this is not new information, but when you're being told this and you're a kid, you don't process it the same as you do when you're an adult. So you didn't like his sisters didn't like you, and they made you feel, a certain way. Again, proud, okay? Stubborn, okay? Every now and then her birthday is Friday the 13th. I'm just saying. Every now and then. Every now and then. So, and strong. Physically, even though was always skinny, she was a bully when she was a kid. She was a fighter in the street. She didn't care. That's why I took, like, yeah, whatever was going on, my daughter had to come through me somehow, some chemical thing between me and her father created this problem here. And I've been carrying that all the time. Until this afternoon, I got some additional information. It brings a little more clarity to it. And I thank my ego for that, because that's a gift. Because I've carried that for 38 years. So I'm accepting it and processing it, right? And I'm going to let it go. But that's part of it, processing it. That's a gift. The information was a gift. Knowing now, today, is a gift. It would have been, I guess, what good would it have done at the time had I known it? I think a lot of good. But it wouldn't have done anything for the relationship, and I guess that's the way she was looking at it. Mainly it was because it's not about me, it's about her and what she wants to do, because she's my mother and I am nobody. So, oh, this shirt says sarcasm. It's a body's natural defense against stupid. I bought that one year when I'd seen someone with it, and I said, "Where did you get it?" And she told me, and I went directly to that store and I got one. And because I've always been accused of being sarcastic. Hold on. Pop, can you check the oven? Oh, we don't have any cranberry. Yeesh. Can't have turkey wings without cranberry. Now he's going to act like he didn't hear me, right? Okay. So let me put me on pause. Okay, you guys. Sorry for that interruption, but put them in for another hour. Only turkey wings. I can't do too much, but they're lucky they're getting that. I thought about macaroni and cheese, but sorry, kids. Anyway, they want it, they can make it. I could tell them how to do it. But the turkey wings, they were just talking about the differences in the cooking, Everybody's cooking is good, but they know the differences between me and my sister Jackie's cooking and my sister Lorraine's cooking. Lorraine is very organic, and she gets the free range chicken, a turkey, whereas Jackie and I will just go to the store and pick up. Jackie will get a butterball. I can do wonders with a XXX reject. I've done that when I was up in Geneva at Thanksgiving. We would get free turkeys and stuff, and I would make turkey. I made Thanksgiving dinner for the guys in the Minority Cultural Center one year because they couldn't afford to go home for Thanksgiving, so we stayed. for those few days and made Thanksgiving dinner. And I cooked it, everything, for 4 guys and myself. Oh, yeah. I used to do all of that. I was like the house mom. So I was going with one of them, which ended up being Darius's father. Anyway, we're not talking about him this time. Another narcissist. Another narcissist. No, not the first, but another narcissist. My boyfriend before him, Stevie, he was low-key narcissist, but narcissist nonetheless. So yeah, but a different kind. He was a genius, you know, and you start to see them, the mad genius, later they unravel. Because he was a hurt person too. He was a child of a narcissist, definitely. And military parents. He was discovered to be very highly intelligent when he was a young kid growing up in Bedford-Stuyvesant, and he ended up going to Choate private school, which is like where President Kennedy went when he was a boy. But then when he came home, he was still coming back home to Bedford-Stuyvesant. Bed-Stuy, do or die for a reason, right? So you have to make it, right? When the song says if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, New York, honey. So there's a way that you have to, comport yourself when you are on a campus like that, in a situation like that, when there's a lot of them and not so many of you, and you're there on scholarship. So most of the minority kids who are there on that money. And so it becomes not only about race, more so it becomes about class. And then you go home to the dodging bullets down Nostrand Avenue in Franklin, right? Atlantic, huh? The Armory. You could look down the street and see the Armory. These kids grow up places where they look down and they see pools, acres, driveways, lawns, cabanas, guest houses, pool houses. Their mother's wing, their father's wing. It is a trip. It is a trip. Their godparents are celebrities. Their grandparents own chocolate companies. It's a trip. It's a trip. But it's an experience, and some people take it one way, and other people it just messes with them. Anyhow, getting back to this. So families are heifers. Sisters are the heifers. And he's heartbroken. And she is too. But standing her ground. And even when he called and offered her love, invited her to come and elope, she didn't look at what she was being offered. She looked at what she had. And she's still being stubborn. And so what she had was a job and a man, and she had a baby. And so she felt that she was going to stand up for herself, look out for herself. She didn't want to hear what he had to say. She had already made up her mind, and she was going to opt for what she saw was her stability, her happy ending, her family. And so she gave him a piece of her mind. when he called. She sent him away quickly. And later, years later, he came back to offer her love again. And reminded her of times in the past before he went away to school, before she found someone else to love and start a new family with. And that brought her some healing, I imagine, because then she, again, because she's a narcissist, that she knew that he still loved her and there was still hope. But he wanted her to walk away from her family because he said he couldn't raise another man's children. And that broke her heart, but she would not leave her children. So they both were heartbroken. Now, when she chased him the first time away, he went into the military. He became a soldier. He went to Vietnam. He started drinking. And so when he had to leave, after she turned him down, he had to go back. He decided to re-enlist, even though he wanted to stay. Did I mention that he had been married himself at this point and gotten a divorce in that time? And he still wanted her. And he came looking for her. But she couldn't do what he was asking her to do, and he was heartbroken. That's a pretty compelling love story. Right? That's like heartbreaking because of pride and stubbornness. You turned down a man who loved you and was willing to. He was being manipulative, she felt, when he said that he was going to go to Vietnam the first time. She didn't think he was going to do it, but he did it. But she didn't care. She went on about her life because she meant it when she said she didn't care. She meant it at the moment she did, because that's how she intended it to remain. But life has its ups and downs, and things didn't stay well between herself and my father. So when they broke up, he found her. He went looking for her and he found her, and he came and he got on his knees again and asked her to marry him one more time. But she sent him away. Rightfully so. That's a lot to ask a woman to do. Justice. So she felt she had justice. She felt that she was being balanced, right? It was the right thing to do. All right? She was loving her children, loving her family. All right? She was putting her, it was a head over heart decision, but still, that's a hard decision. You can't ask, it's hard asking a woman to leave 3 children. So she did what she had to do. She worked, took care of her family. And everything worked out well, right? Happy ending, her and her kids. Things are fine. So her decision is reinforced by the outcome. So narcissist reaffirmed. She keeps going. Everything keeps going. Time heals. Time goes by. So slowly, but time can do so much, right? She feels vindicated. She stood up against the bullies and she is victorious, and ha ha ha, she gets the last laugh. Victory. She feels good, happy. Because she knew what she was doing. All right, she's in control of her world. All right, she let that go. Started a new chapter. She has been in control, and she made her world. And she has her children who all revolve around her. And she has a child who is a air sign and a fire sign and a water sign and an earth sign. Of course she does. Of course she does. And they are her world, and she makes sure that she is the center of their world. I'm reading y'all the story back the way it came to me. That card don't mean that regularly, I know that, but this is what. And so everything's good, right? Happy, happy, happy. Everything looks good from the outside. Happy, 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 happy. She's proud of herself. But that's got to change. There was a change. She changed. Because this ended up being kind of the ending, pretty much. And there's no reason that she shouldn't be proud of herself, but there's secrets, right? There are things that you ain't supposed to tell. Things that you know that you're not supposed to tell. Right. You got the messages. Things happened really quickly and you got the messages. You were told something that you were supposed to keep a secret. Someone is supposed to keep a secret about something that happened very quickly, some information that moved very fast. Could have been in person, could have been by letter, could have been by telephone, but there's some information that is supposed to remain a secret. Between 3 people. So 3 people working together who all know the same secret. Except one of the people is not the same size as the other 2 people. One of the people is little. But they're smart. And they carry themselves as an adult, but they're not an adult. They're a child. And so these 3 people, one of them being a child, had a secret between the 3 of them. And the Knight of Wands came in with passion. Passionate. Offering passion, bringing passion. Trying to find his way. To the person, to the situation, to the family. The woman he loved, and a child. And he came back. He thought he found his way. He thought he had changed and searched inside. And she still couldn't make up her mind. She still couldn't make a decision. Because things really hadn't changed for her. She was still a mother, still had kids. She had 4 kids. She couldn't leave 3. Because the only one that he was going to accept is the one that knew the secret. Oh no, that would start some shit for real. That was some controversy that she was not ready to stand up to. No. Because she would have been fighting with her kids, her ex-husband, the in-laws, her parents, everybody. The world. No. She couldn't do that. No. How would that look? So she gave him some clarity. Excuse me. Did you understand who I was? Did I tell you this? This is the ego. This is stubborn. She's not going to let herself look bad for nobody, even for herself. Secrets. Deny. Don't even discuss it. What are you talking about? This is who she is. Clear, straight, on point. Even though she was stressing over it. Both of them were, but she was also. But she wasn't doing it when nobody could see it. Tears of a clown when no one's around, right? So she's stressed. He's stressed. This fell on top of this. So guess who else is stressed? The one who's not the adult. The one who's not the adult is stressed too. Because they all know the secret. But she's the only one making decisions. There's no discussion. There's no compromise. And there can't be, I guess. But it's all in the way that you deliver the message, huh? It's the way you say it. And now we have 3 people chained to the secret. And this leads to addictions, bad choices, shadows, confusions, lies, anger, hurt, deceit. For all 3 people, including the child. Because that child has to keep that secret and not tell the parents, not tell their other parent, and not tell their siblings. Because remember, there are 4 children. Only one knows the secret. So she has to hold on to that secret against the children, against her siblings and her father. And so everybody set out on their own path, started over new somewhere else. He started somewhere else. She started somewhere else with other people. It is what it is. It's done, it's done. Where can I go and do better now? What can I do better? I've already created something. And I'm leaving it behind. It's all right, it's gonna be okay. But I gotta do something else. I gotta do something else. I gotta do something to please myself, to save myself, to show myself worth, my value, to show my strength, to show my vision, to follow my vision. My vision is to have a successful family. Then I'm going to go forward towards that. If my vision is to find a new love, then I'm going to go forward towards that. Yes, this is what we got, these 3 cards. Gonna find my way. I gotta go. I've been rejected enough. I gotta find a new path. I gotta find a new way. I gotta go. Can't stay here. Don't got to go home, but you can't stay here. Nothing for you here. Nothing for you here. So, you enlist in Vietnam. Get shot. But he lives. Thank God. But burden is still being carried And he wants to lay this burden down. But so does the child. Because as the years pass, this child is growing. And this is a lot to carry. And they feel like they can't trust anybody. They always have to watch what's going on behind them. They can't trust their siblings because, somebody heard something. So that was another thing that the adults didn't have to deal with either. Trying to defend themselves against their siblings and tell them that they're lying and that they're crazy and they didn't hear what they heard when they did hear what they heard. But you're trying to protect the adults because they told you that you had to carry this burden, this secret. And you did. And even when you got away from it, even when you were away from it, you were always judged for it. If you ever told anyone, they judged you for it as if you had done something. It wasn't your secret. You didn't do nothing. But you felt judged. You felt like you had to always remain on the defensive to protect yourself and to protect the adults, especially your narcissistic mother. And look for love. Love was offered to you. Passion came towards you. But you didn't trust. Or not that you didn't even trust. You didn't even know what to expect. Because you didn't know what that looked like. You didn't know what it looked like. All you saw is people being rejected and people being hurt and people keeping secrets and people lying. So somebody comes and they seem like a breath of fresh air. They seem like they are passionate. Well, yeah, passion. Your mother's a narcissist. You grew up around passion. You grew up in a family of people from the Caribbean, Africa, and the South. There's a whole bunch of passion that goes on around you. Lively people, right? People who argue and yell and all of that. You've been around that. But they know how to carry themselves in public. That they know. Well heeled at all times. Don't forget that. So you don't show your feelings in public, and you certainly don't embarrass, and you don't tell no stories that you're not supposed to be telling. Oh no. Because your mother is the empress and she is in control. She watches over everything and she has spies everywhere, it seems, who tell her things. But when this passion comes towards you, you really don't know how to deal with it because you went to all-girls high school, so you didn't have a lot of contact with boys because your narcissist mother was not having that. Because she's going to make sure that you made it through high school without getting pregnant, young lady. And she had shown you exactly where your body would land in the alley if you ever came to her and told her that you were pregnant. So when you didn't have a lot of experience with boys, so you were kind of easy prey, open to become what? Pregnant. And then they do what happens? They walk out, they go. But you know this already because this is what you've seen. Women get pregnant, men leave. Men offer passion. Women get pregnant, men leave. That's what you've seen. That's what you've always carried around with you. That's what you always try to defend yourself from. And nothing that you've seen has proven you wrong. But you have a lot of love inside of you. There is a lot of love. Even in the story, there's love. But love is coming. Love may be offered. But you're not looking at it. You're thinking about it. You think about it. You procrastinate. You worry. You wonder. You sleep on it. You retreat from it. You dream about love. You dream about love. You dream about love. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Cranberry sauce. You start to get clarity. And you start to get an understanding. And you want to be honest. You want to be truthful. ¿A dónde va? Thank you. Have fun. And you feel like you are stuck in a pattern, but you're not stuck. But you're afraid of what you have seen to be the truth. That relationships cause this distress. And so you're stuck. You feel stuck. The thing is, you're past the part where the other word got getting pregnant. Huh? So that is different, right? Because women get pregnant, men leave. So if the woman can't get pregnant, the man won't leave. Or that won't be an excuse, or that is not the scenario that you're used to. So this is different. That's off the table. Not an option. So now you're ready to take a chance. Because the scenario One of the scenarios that you fear, because there are more, I'm sure. But the one thing that you fear, being left alone with a child to have to raise alone, that won't happen. Not this time, because that can't happen because you can't get pregnant. Because you're older now. So you're ready to take a chance. Take a chance. Because you have all the tools that you need to be successful, and you have love. You're in love. You've fallen in love. You've fallen in love. You're ready to take a chance because someone has expressed their love to you. The magician has expressed his love to you. Someone who you think has everything that he needs to be successful. You think that he knows everything and that he is magic. You have confidence in him, and he is offering you love. It's taken time to get to this place, and you have to make a decision. So that's what you're doing. Contemplation. Still thinking about it, meditating. But you are happy. Get your wishes fulfilled. Just him offering you his love is a wish fulfilled, to be honest. Vindication, in a way. Your mother's a narcissist. What do they think you're not going to get some of that? As much as you get everything else from that, yeah, there's a little of that goes on still, of course. Come on. Along with all the other bad, you got a couple drops of that too. But you're not an Aries. That's the caveat. Stability. Somebody who holds on to their money, you may be a little tight, maybe a little cheap, or maybe you need to learn how to budget your money better. So you get your wish. The magician comes and you have to make a decision. Get your wishes fulfilled. Get stability. Get control of your money. Well, here we go with some secrets. Again, something underneath the surface, something that is behind the scene that you don't know yet. Does it have something to do with the Cancer or a Pisces? Someone with a Pisces moon, a Cancer moon. Could have something to do with a Scorpio. Well, whatever it is, it's a secret that you haven't been. You don't know about it yet. Or you're helping somebody keep a secret. You're helping somebody hold on to something that's a secret. So your stability comes with secrets. Again. Your happiness is attached to secrets. again. But there's love. It's a soulmate connection with this magician. And even your mother likes him. Even your mother likes him. Even she likes him. Because if she didn't like him, he couldn't have lasted this long. And it would be justice. It would be justice for you to receive this love, accept this love. You have all the tools that you need to make this work. And someone who is offering you their love, and someone who you are willing to offer your love to. As soon as you make up your mind. Or someone makes up their mind. Up, wait. Tower, here we go. Of course. Can't make a decision, take too long to make a decision, and so the decision gets made for you. And something comes crashing out and down. So, takes a while. Slow getting there. The offer comes back. Offer comes back, but it's taking a long time after that tower. And you still are feeling that love, but that offer, that stability, been separated by that tower because a decision wasn't made. Someone took too long to make a decision about this. So, in the name of being fair, to be fair, things have to be worked out. Things have to be straightened out. People have to feel like they're being taken care of. Everything has to be balanced. There has to be justice. There has to be, things have to be balanced. Balance meaning y'all split this, I'll take this. That's the energy that's going on around you. That's not you, that's just what you're looking at. That's what's happening. You're watching this selfishness because we attract men who are narcissists sometimes when we have parents who are narcissists. Just like we attract alcoholics when we have alcoholic parents, just like we may attract abusers or, workaholics, things like that. We attract what we know, right? Because it's familiar. Familiar family. See? So, there's a day of reckoning that comes, all right? Someone has to use their judgment. Someone has to listen to their higher self here, where these secrets are concerned. I think that's what this is saying. You have to listen to your listen to your higher self. All right, you have to use some judgment about these secrets, about what you're coming to know, about how you see things going, and how something that's supposed to be fair really isn't fair if you look close. And you might still be waiting because one side's getting a whole lot, and they're not even turning around and looking at you. They're taking care of themselves and the people that they favor. And they're telling you that they're being fair, but they're holding the scale over your head. But this person they're giving to freely. So you're being judged. You're being judged. But this person is being given freely. They're not even looking at you. They're judging you, holding the scales behind them while they're placating these people, this person. And so you come to a place where you have to use your judgment, or there becomes another tower, a day of reckoning. Somebody's got to answer to somebody about something. And just waiting. You're just waiting. You're waiting to see what is going to happen. You know what you've put into this. You know what you've given to this situation, to this life. You know what you have worked on. You know what to do. You know what is expected. In order to get certain results, you have to put certain things into situations, relationships, work. You know this. That's why you're the Queen of Pentacles. Because you got your shit together, right? Or you tried to. Nobody's perfect. But that's at least that's your goal. Independence, stability. But there's love and comfort there. Yep. So you want to be loved. You want to be comfortable. You want to be stable. Reasonable. Especially after all the hard work you put in. Besides keeping secrets for adults. So now, you have an opportunity to go on a new path. Or two different paths. Two different ways to go. So you have a choice. You have a choice on what to do. You could stay where you are. Or you could step forward on something new. You could go see the world. You could travel. You could go for the love, right? Go for the passion. Or find your passion somewhere else in the world. And leave all of this behind. Because you have that option. Because you are not stuck. You can go anytime you want to. And you're free to see the world. And today, when you got that information, when I got that information, because the story is pertaining to me, right? You're keeping up. And thank you for sticking with me. I got unstuck. I got unstuck. My children, without any provocation from me, told me that they would be more than happy if I would sell this house and get a condo or something. What? I always felt that I needed to hold on to this house so that I have stability for them, so that I could make sure that they had a place to lay their heads. I could still have that, but I don't have to have this house. I love my house. I loved it. I dreamed, it's like a gingerbread house. It's like stone and brick outside, and I love it. When I saw it, I fell in love with it. It reminded me of it's a cape, but it was as close to an English tutor as I was going to get on my budget. And it's detached, so I have my yard and a driveway, and my garage is heated and has electricity in it, and I have a shed outside for storage and stuff. And I grew up moving a lot, and I hated moving. So once we got here, I wasn't moving again, ever. But today, as they gave me the information that I never had about something that freed me from a burden that I'd been carrying, they also, both of them, without any conversation, they don't barely talk to each other. But that's because they're, she could be his mother. She has friends who have children his age. I was pregnant with a couple of her girlfriends at the same time. When I tell you, there is put in some work, raising children. It is not easy. It's not easy. And holding on to other people's secrets. But your business is all out in the street because you tell your mother everything, she tells everybody everything because she's a narcissist. Thank you, Jesus. I needed to get that out, I guess. That's maybe, yeah, yes, 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 yes. I had to keep a secret, but yet still everything I did, work, school, whatever, broadcast. But I still keep your secret. Freedom today. Unstuck. The hangman reversed. Jump down off of that crucifix. Another perspective. Standing up for what you know now. Making decisions to exalt yourself. To be superwoman again for yourself. A new beginning, a new start, a new beginning, a new start, because you're not hung up on this bullshit no more. I'm not hung up on this bullshit no more. I'm getting clarity and I'm getting passion. A new beginning, a new start, a new love, and freedom, and balance. Learning how to be patient, learning how to be balanced. And so, able to offer love or accept a love offer. With truth, with clarity. To offer someone love, being straightforward with them, to let them know exactly the truth of what I feel, of what it is, clarity about the relationship, clarity about why it's taken so long to get clarity, to get balance. Understanding why it took so long to get balance. New start. A new way of looking at this passion. Okay, so I'm going to look at the Hangman upright. No, reversed, right? Ace of Wands reversed. Free to start a new passionate, balanced relationship. Offering love to water sign. Being clear, truthful and honest, but open, ready to listen and to speak the truth and to offer the truth and offer help to find the truth. Independence, standing up for yourself, being comfortable. So, I guess this would be me. But that's also her. That's also her. To an extent. It's over the years. I looked for that guy, for us. Because I wanted to get clarity. I wanted to know exactly what he believed. And did he really believe the secret? And did he really love me? And did he know what they together had done, what they had expected from me? And so searched around and was able to get to the bottom of it and got my questions answered just in time. Not just in time, but we became friends. We had a relationship. And I came to understand and find out that he believed I was his daughter, and his family believed I was his daughter. Even these little raggedy, mean sisters back there, they believed it, And his children knew about me. They knew that I was their sister that lived in New York. They lived in New Jersey. So they were always aware of me. Even the woman that he was married to at the time, she told me from their first date, he told her about me, because that's how heavy it had been on him. So a narcissist wouldn't talk to him. I don't think they spoke. Maybe they do once, but they definitely send messages through me back and forth to each other. These are two. They're kids. They were just acting like the same teenagers that they were 40, 50 years ago. But it was true that they loved each other. And she took many, 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 many beatings from my father. Hearing that name, that was what made it so startling, because hearing that when they were together, and how many times the argument was about this man, just because my father come across a picture and he had been drinking and started whatever excuse. Hearing her fighting and crying and the things that he did to her. And then after they separated, to find out that there was some truth to this, that she really did have this person that she loved, this torch that she just carried, but she sacrificed what she wanted, the love, because she wanted to keep stability. Because the first time he called her, she only had one baby. That was me. She could have took me and him and gone. But because she was mad at the sisters and she was being stubborn, she said, no, I'll stay with what I have. And then that's when she started being abused by my father. I guess she told him. And so I guess that's why that's part of where she learned about not telling things too. I guess that just as I said that, I was like, okay, I can understand. Because when you love somebody, you want to be honest with them. And I think that that didn't work well. So the one time that she was honest at the beginning, it ended up that she got a beating badly. And she had just told this guy, kiss her grits. And maybe he went to Vietnam or he didn't, but she didn't give a damn because she was going to stay with this man that she loved, right? And she was going to, pass it off like this was his baby, and she had everything covered, and she had a plan. And then she tells this man that she loves that, yes, because she's telling him how much she loves him and how committed she is to this relationship. And for her honesty, she got the beating, the first beating of many beatings. And she found out later that there was an old rumor that her husband, because he was much older than her, when he came back from the military back in the day, he was married before, and when he came back, his sisters told him that his wife had been seeing somebody while he was away in the military. And he killed the man and shot her too. She ended up in a wheelchair. Now, I know that that was not a lie. The woman was in a wheelchair until the day she died. She was my half brother's mother, right? So, step brothers, really. But, that was our brother's mother. So, it's true. Hold on one second. So, um, so he had just come back from the military, and back then, all parties in this saga, alleged saga, were black. So, with enough money and the right, connections, you might could get away with leaving the state, and if you promise never to come back here again, because you just got home from World War II. Enough money, enough fast talking by your sisters who now own you because, well, one sister owns you now because she paid your way away from the gas chamber or even trial, because this is Florida now. Not like you killed a white person. And it was a woman and she was cheating on you. And of course you killed him, boy. I don't blame you. All right. So my father didn't go back down there for nothing. If there was a funeral, he would go get on a plane or drive down, stay as long as the funeral. By nightfall, he back to New York. Mm-mm. In and out. Take care of business and leave. Don't let himself be marinating down there too long. So that was the story. So if you know this now, after you've gotten yourself into the situation, and this story now comes to your attention after this man has beat you more than a few times, you're scared now to even go to the person that you love, because now you feel like you're protecting them from this crazy person who has already killed. It was an ugly situation, I'm sure. I know it was. I lived with it. Excuse me, but I had to put candy. So it's not very cut. It's not always cut and dry. These situations, we, judge people about stuff, but we have to really sit down and work it through, so that we could try to understand, not forgive it, not excuse it, but just try to get the perspective, right? Perspective, so that you're not, hung up and just not making any progress. You've had a moment to look at this and think about it. Now, aha moment, change of fortune. Because you're looking at things as to what's fair, what's balanced, and what's being offered. Clarity, independence. It's important. Truth brings stability to a situation. Everybody's being honest, right? And you can be secure in a relationship when people are honest. But at the same time, feel kind of backstabbed when some things are revealed. It was like the final straw. That's what you thought it was going to be. That's what it felt like today. One final backstab. And you got clarity because you have been awakened, honest. As cheesy as it sounds, because you have learned how to discern. You have learned how to measure the truth and the value of truth, and how to look at things in a balanced manner, to put yourself, imagine yourself in someone else's world, put yourself in someone else's shoes. Be careful where you step. Know that you have been protected. You are being protected. And you will have the happy ending that you were wishing for, that you expected. You'll be able to take care of yourself, your home, your family, everybody. Because you got the clarity. I got the clarity today. I got the clarity. I got clarity. I got balance. I got honesty. And I felt like the weight was lifted so much in one day. Thanksgiving. Forgiven. Forgiveness on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Happy wife, happy life. Earth, grounded, balanced, proud. She can even protect herself from the falcon because she knows what to put on. She knows how to present herself. And so she can admire the hawk and death, look it straight in the face, and protect herself from it because she knows how to put on that armor and how far to stretch her hand so that she can keep her eye on it and admire it and not let it hurt her. I see. Hawk is Oya, is wind, is messenger. The information that she gets, she knows how to handle it. The information that is brought to her on the wind, the messages, she knows how to handle. So I've learned how to handle these messages, how to handle these truths, and still stay grounded. So choosing not to go anywhere. Ace of Pentacles. Knowing that there'll be prosperity. So I'm going to stay where I feel stable. Or move away from this new beginning. Move away from fortune. Left out in the cold. So you feel it's the opportunity for, I feel like the opportunity for fortune is past. The opportunity to not be left out in the cold. The new start. Now turn your back on this new start. Because you have options. Okay, so I have options. I have options. I have options. So there could be walking away or leaving, staying put. Okay, not leaving this opportunity. Not moving away from this opportunity. You may have felt left out in the cold before. Okay, now I have options. Right. Okay. Now there are options. And there's love. Offer of love. And I'm able to love, able to offer love that may not be everybody's ideal of what it looks like, because I can make it look any way I want to make it look because I have that option. That's part of the clarity. Why I don't have to go anywhere, because I've got this, right? This love for the independence and the stability that I've created already. And knowing that I have love to give. But very looking at it straight, straightforward, being accepting of love whichever way it's going to come, because you're strong. I'm strong. I've been through it all. Right? And some things, of course, have been hurtful. This whole situation was very hurtful. But it doesn't kill you, makes you strong, right? Always been strong. Always been able to control my environment with my strength and with the love. Because it's always felt like an outsider anyway. Always something going on, choices, options that were not always in my hands. And I have felt loved. There are men that I have felt loved by, and there are men that I have loved. And some of them were strong and stable. But I was still single. And I allowed myself to be an option because I knew how to handle that, because I always felt like I had been an option. That's the way it was processed in a child's mind. And that the reason that things were the way they were was because these things happened around me, like as if I brought this. I didn't bring it, I just came into it because it was what I needed to learn fit into this scenario. So it was going on. They were like, "Psst, that's you, go." And that's what happened. I landed up in this. But I thank goodness and I can think about that like that. This is devastating to a lot of people. Less than this. But there I am. And there she is. Aries' mother. With her secret still there. Trying to keep it covered, but it's a little peeking out there. but she's still standing strong, head up high, knowing what she knows, and holding on to her secret and to her passion. We have a King of Pentacles. So, grounded, stable, responsible. That's who she is, and that's who she is going to always be. Always. She is the institution. She is the determiner of right and wrong, and what is and what isn't, and what will be. But maybe this Queen of Wands can find stability and commit to something. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. But it's not very simple or easy, is it? And it wasn't. It wasn't supposed to be. So, the story ends as stories do. And so he passed away, the young man in the story with my mother. He passed away. 2006 or 7, I think. He was, I think, only 70 years old. And like I said, we'd been in touch and friends. And I knew that regardless of what, friends. And that he loved me and he loved my mother. That was obvious. And she loved him. So when word got around that he passed away, she, of course, told me about it and insisted that I go, but she couldn't do it. Hey, what? I don't know these people. At least she knew some of the people. She went to high school with, you know, it was a small community, Panamanian social. She knew people that knew people that knew people, you know. I don't know. She couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. But I had to go. I had to go. I had to go. I mean, she wasn't paying no tolls. She wasn't paying for no gas, nothing. She just giving orders, and orders have to be carried out because my narcissist, Aries, mom. So I had to rent a hotel because it wasn't around the corner. And it was early, and, you know, services were going to be held early. It was military. So, you know, crack of dawn. It's fine with them. And I went to the funeral. And it was great. Not great, like great, but I was received well because everybody knew about me. Everybody. The guys in the Mason Lodge and whoever was there was amazing. Yeah, it was really interesting. And they even asked me to read the scripture. 1 Corinthians 13th chapter, verse 7th verse, I think, something. But it's well known, you know. We put on the corruptible and become incorruptible. And that was surprising. I was on the program. It didn't say his daughter, but there was still, acknowledging me like that. And I even wrote to the cemetery in the limousine with his son and daughter, not his ex-wife. And she must have, I guess she knew my mother, because I think my mother said her sister or her cousin and my mother were friends in high school. So she knew my mother, and I have been told I look just like her, so I'm sure that lady didn't appreciate seeing me walk through the funeral parlor door, but she already knew I was coming. I think she did. I don't know. I don't know if they told her. I don't think they did actually now, from what I remember. No, they didn't. They didn't tell her. See, again, secrets. Why would you do that to people? I don't know. Maybe if I didn't show up, then they didn't have to get her ready. Possible. Because it would have been very likely for me not to show up, right? But I had to because yes, for myself, but it was like if it was for myself, I could have taken my time, slipped in, slipped out, whatever. But I